Hi everyone, how you doing? Well, if a Jehovah's Witness came up to you, one that was still attending, and said to you, I'm having reservations, I don't know what to do, I'm thinking of leaving, would you encourage them to leave? Or would you say to them, well, what are you going to leave for? What are your reasons for leaving? If the reasons were good enough, I would probably get on board with it, but let's just say they didn't give you any specific reason and they just said, oh, I'm growing tired of it. Would you encourage them to leave? Would you give them the back catalogue of all your XJW experience? Or would you just say to them, why don't you just stay put? What are you going to anyway? Are you going to something better? Well, there's no evidence that people that have left and become XJWs are any happier. Some of them are positively miserable XJWs. And that's why they're quite scathing of their former religion. So I says, do you want to join the ranks of them and be another scathing XJW who's unhappy, miserable, always ranting and raving? Well, if you want to do that, then leave. Or do you want to just give it a bit longer? Because, well, things are not going to last forever, are they? It's not exactly the greatest world at the moment, so hang on. You may as well just see whether you're right. Hedge your bets. Stick in there. Endure to the end. Is that what you'd tell them? Well, I'm sure we can answer that ourselves, but I would personally just say to them, if you leave, it would have to be for a good reason. Nothing petty, but something very serious. And I would leave for that reason. But if you think you're going to leave and you're going to be a lot happier, I say, get that right out of your mind. That's not the way it works. Sometimes you can be very unhappy once you leave. You can find yourself disjointed. I've known many XJWs when they first left and they're in shock area. It takes time for them to find their feet and they don't even know who to trust once they start looking on YouTube at former Jehovah's Witnesses. And sometimes they get taken in by XJWs. I'm not mentioning any names, I don't need to. You just have to history check and see what some of them have done over the years. So my advice to anybody that wanted to leave currently is hang on in there. Endure a bit longer and let's see how it goes. And if you still feel the same and your reasons are good enough, then let's talk. But I certainly wouldn't corral anybody. I wouldn't browbeat anybody to leave. It would have to be their decision and their decision alone. And they'd have to be absolutely certain that it wasn't for them. And under those circumstances, I think I could get on board that. How about you guys?